And giving thanks for the blessings of a good harvest is a tradition in many cultures. Today, Americans are celebrating Thanksgiving as they do each year on the fourth Thursday of November. VOA's Laurel Bowman joins us now with more on this important occasion. Laurel?
Thank you, Demi. Well, legend has it that the first Thanksgiving took place in Plymouth, Massachusetts in the 1600s. English immigrants or pilgrims went looking for food, and Native Americans lent a hand. Then they all sat down for a feast to bless the harvest. These days, Americans food shop for days to prepare for Thanksgiving. We usually serve turkey, winter vegetables, gravy, and pies galore. We invite friends and extended family to the feast. We stopped some shoppers yesterday to ask, what is Thanksgiving to you?
It's about family and friends and taking the time to sit around the table and reflect on all of our blessings.
American Thanksgiving, in the way I see it, having lived here a few decades, is a way of giving thanks in an ecumenically inclusive way, where it's non-denominational and anybody can give thanks for their blessings.
It's a celebration of being thankful.
Thanksgiving is like what the Pilgrims did when they came to Plymouth. They had a big feast, so to thank the Native Americans for helping them.
Do you like Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
What do you like to eat?
I like to eat blueberries
You like blueberries for Thanksgiving?
and purple grapes.
Thanksgiving is a time to cherish what you have and to spend time with your family and friends.
What kinds of things do you like to eat on Thanksgiving?
Ooh, I like to eat baked goods. I like to eat pie. I like to eat cookies.
Cookies and cream.
And I'm pescatarian, so I don't eat meat.
Cookies
so,
and cream.
Hold on just a second. So turkey's not really a part of my palate, but I love the cranberry sauce.
Well, on a sadder note, this Thanksgiving comes as the U.S. government reduces food stamp benefits to millions of Americans. Food stamps help low-income people buy food at lower costs during the holiday. Volunteer organizations are stepping in, but long-term, that's no solution, reports VOA's Brian Padden.
At the Capital Area Food Bank in Washington, D.C., volunteers are preparing to distribute 50% more food this month than last, in part to compensate for the recent $5 billion cut to the food stamp program. While increased private donations may help poor families make it through Thanksgiving, Brian Banks, the organization's policy director, says they cannot sustain a major increase in giving over the long term.
The Capital Area Food Bank can't reach enough donations to fulfill that cut. The food banks across the nation can't reach enough donations to fill that cut. What we can do is make sure that we're purchasing food, that we're taking donations, and we're getting out into the community as fast as possible.
The food stamps cut is technically not a cut, but an end to a temporary stimulus increase passed during the economic recession. While the U.S. economy has improved, unemployment is still high, and the number of people receiving food stamps has risen to over 47 million. Still, the U.S. Congress is considering cutting up to $40 billion more in nutrition aid over 10 years to reduce the government deficit. Conservatives like Rachel Sheffield, a policy analyst at the Heritage Foundation, say more must be done to reduce fraud and abuse and decrease the growing dependency on government handouts.
It should be reformed to promote work so that able-bodied adults work, prepare for work, or at least look for work in exchange for receiving assistance. That's fair to the taxpayers and is also in the best interest of the recipients.
Advocates for the poor say most people on food stamps do work, but their wages are not enough to provide for their families. The large department store Walmart came under criticism recently for holding a Thanksgiving food donation drive for its own employees in need. Banks says it is not surprising that many working families still need food stamps that are provided under the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program called SNAP.
The majority of people that use the SNAP program, they work 9 to 5 every single day. They're working families, they're the working poor, they need help and assistance. This is, for some, this is their last step to getting back on their feet.
Gracious Heavenly Father, we just thank and praise you, Lord.
This year, as Americans gather for traditional Thanksgiving feasts, there may be less food on the table for millions of working poor. Brian Padden, VOA News, Washington.
And I'm Laurel Bowman, asking all of our viewers today to be moved by the spirit of giving. Demi, back to you.
Well, I'm moved, Laurel. Thank you. Still to come on